All right. So, hi everyone. This video is coming to you. I don't even know what time it is. It's 4:30 on a Friday. I just heard about 24 hours ago that you can see the title of this video here. The one-child policy is it's over. One-child policy is over. It's done. So it's obviously a big day for China. This is a major thing that people are going to be talking about, and they in fact are talking about it. But yeah, about this time yesterday, I was on the the interwebs, as I am often, and I was on Xinhua, and I was on a couple of other Chinese news sites, and saw that the one-child policy is now open to becoming the two-child policy. We have a two-child policy now, which is going to be universally implemented. Now, universally is the key word here, because if you watch my last video about the one-child policy, you'll see that there were a lot of exceptions to the one-child policy. For example, out in the countryside, if both parents were only children and you're ethnic minority, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of exceptions to the one-child policy. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out so that you can get a little context for what I'll be talking about. And I'll wait for you to come back. Okay, so you watched that video and you saw that this policy had come about in the early 80s. I think it was 82 when the People's Congress, they got together and they said this is the duty of every Chinese citizen and whatnot, and that it was intended to be a one-generational policy. So great, it's been 33 years, and that's about a generation, I think. That's about a generation, so I guess they did what they wanted to do, and we can talk about why, actually. Why has this plan been implemented? Why has it been reversed all of a sudden? Well, it hasn't been all of a sudden, actually. The plan was enacted, the policy was enacted because just this skyrocketing, this crazy amount of people were having kids back in the 70s and early 80s. So they were just trying to say, hey, people, just slow down. God, we got to develop before you have 1 million kids, or I should say 1 billion kids. And anyway, so now that people have had less kids now, they're saying, okay, we can open it up and more people can be free to have children. There's a little more to it than that, though. The reason I've been seeing in the newspapers and things like that, it's all about combating what they call the aging population. This comes from people talking about China's going to get old before it gets rich. China's had this incredible, what people call the economic miracle, where it's grown so fast in such a short amount of time. But the people who built up China, those people who were born under those crazy, days of growth and worked in China during those crazy times of growth and are now older and didn't have any of those restrictions imposed on them, they're now at or near retirement age, and it's a really significant part of the population. And when these people start to retire, there's going to be a whole bunch of people who all retire at the same time, and there won't be enough young people to fill up those jobs, which can cause some industries to shrink, which means the economy loses money, and then the growth slows down, and then the Communist Party's legitimacy is kind of thrown into question and all that, because they maintain their legitimacy through the economy and all of this thing. And then, so once they retire, these industries might shrink and cause all these problems. And then also, once people retire, they're not putting in their knowledge or their abilities into the economy anymore. They're not working, so they end up not putting anything into the economy, and they end up taking resources. They take and they don't give, which is true in every country, not just China. But the problem is there's a lot more in China than anywhere else. So that's basically what it means by getting old before it gets rich. And imagine when all these people die. The population is going to decline just drastically in, let's say, the space of between 5 and 15 years. It's going to be crazy. So that's why the policy, among other reasons, of course, I don't have time to get into them. It's already been, oh my God, 5 minutes. We don't have time to get into all of that, but that's basically a reason. And, sorry, a little bit sick. And now the policy is that everyone can have 2 kids. So, you know, that's great, and they're going to try to stabilize the population. Now, there's still a big gap between the number of old people and the amount of young people. There's still a gap between the male population and the female population. There's still little emperors and things like that, but maybe some of that will be a little bit lessened by the fact that people are going to have 2 children. So that's what we can hope about. That's something we can hope for, and you know, it's a good step forward for the Chinese, and I'm all for it. I'm actually one of the few people I know who actually is for population control. Because the world is well, I'm going to keep my opinions to myself. But basically, I'm for population control, no matter what country. I'm all for that. So call me a communist or whatever the heck you want to call it. Call me a totalitarian. But yeah, I'm all for population control. But that's it. All right, I hope that this video, I don't even remember what I talked about. But hopefully I didn't say anything too stupid. And maybe you learned a little bit, something new. So yeah, I guess I'll see you all next time.